99, 100. The hairbrush, invented by Lydia Newman in the 1800s. What goes up must come down. Elevators going up and down. Get on at the lobby. Get off at your room. Elevators help the world go up and down. The elevator, invented by Alexander Miles, October 11, 1867.
This was the flyer that was passed out for the second bond issue for Measure H. And it said, Measure H will replace portable buildings with new permanent classrooms, restore class size reduction for elementary school students, build new facilities to make our schools comparable to neighboring districts and improve student access to computers and modern technology, and require an independent citizens oversight committee and guaranteed annual audits to ensure money is used only for voter-approved school improvements and repairs, and not used for salaries, administration, or overhead. Refinancing sounds to me like overhead, and it seems to me like we're playing a little bit loose with our word. So I would request that the board really think about what they promised the community, what the community was orally told during the time of the election, and I hope our word as a community is more valuable than any piece of legal paper we will find.
There's a lot of school districts in your camp that have been a big reduction in their assessed valuation. It's just a question, when will values come back? And we can only make projections based on historical we could look at, or look at projects that are going to come online and try to make an educated guess as to when the recovery will actually occur in the school district.
One of the things that was brought up that we were going to do with the bond was to pay off COPs that were already existing.
In the first bond measure.
In the first bond measure. And the second bond measure is an extension of the first bond measure to continue the original plan of getting rid of the portables, having good facilities, paying off COPs. It continues from the first bond measure over to the second one. I just clarifying so you know exactly what everything was and all the wording was. But we were not to exceed a certain amount of money.
The $70 per 100,000.
Correct. So legally, as far as what we're doing with the money, we're still doing the same thing as we started with. We're not adding anything on. We're not using it to fund any program that was not originally in Measure A.
Mario, tonight you were the only trustee that voted no on selling bonds. Was that because of your promise that the assessed valuation, the payment on the assessed valuation wouldn't go over $70?
Yes. The promise that we made to the taxpayers was that we would not increase their taxes. The assessed evaluation was not proven to be what I had expected. I really don't know whether it will raise taxes by selling the bonds, because the values of the homes in our district have dropped. So it may even lower our taxes.
Mm-hmm. And also the new renewable energy projects.
There's a lot of projects that have been started and they have not been factored in.
Okay.
But until I know for certain, I would have to vote.
Mr. Starkey, tonight your board, 4-1, voted to sell more bonds.
Absolutely.
Which in a layman's term usually means increased property taxes for people, which is a touchy subject in an election year. But can you tell me why you felt compelled to do that?
Well, first and foremost, we need to do it for the education of the kids. We're right now paying approximately $200,000 a year on these bonds, interest only. In the subsequent years, this interest is going to go up, and we may have to pay up to $500,000.
Wow!
So to get this to allow this bond to be passed, we need to pay off the COP, which has occurred from previous boards, I believe back in '98. So this is well before any of us board members were on here, and it's affecting our students now. We need to remove this debt.
A hidden place close to Rosamond and the Antelope Valley in general is Mandalay Beach over here in Oxnard. And on November 26th, the weather is 75 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. And we're looking from the beach up to the main lobby of Mandalay Beach. A great spot. Their tagline is, every room is a suite. And ours certainly was. And it's built around a patio with waterfalls, bridges, flowers, trees, 60 degrees, and it just is very quiet, peaceful, and relaxing. This is Mandalay Bay, looking from the ocean straight up into the main building. And take a look at the lobby.
You know, well, right now
The two-room suite that we had was just excellent. Had a refrigerator, microwave, a little countertop, and the couch and chair and desk. Hook up to the internet was a little difficult, but finally housekeeping was right there to hook us up. And this table has casters on it, so it'll roll out into the room and you can actually have a breakfast. Right outside the rooms is the beach. In the background, the Anacapa Highlands. Well, Mr. Stone, a great day for Rite opening this Customer World facility. Could you explain to me a little bit how that differs from our Rosamond store?
Sure, it's a wonderful design. We're glad to have our first Customer World store opening in Lancaster. The emphasis in these particular stores, as you tour it, you'll see is our pharmacy with our pharmacy drive-through services, expanded photo services, and our emphasis on departments like GNC and our cosmetics department.
Have you had experience with this type of store at other locations?
Well, as a matter of fact, I opened a store in Rosamond in 1994.
Did you really?
Yes.
When are you going to bring this design to Rosamond?
Hopefully soon.
All right, first off, we want to thank all of construction, field systems, operations for a great job. Beautiful store. Thank you very much. We'll talk about this all. Yeah, it's all you, sir.
All right.